Hello everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes today and just talk about some of the things that have been taking place over the last week. I think a lot of people are feeling these things and not really understanding what's been going on or what's happening. I know I see a lot of people in my office who literally feel like they have been lost in the chaos. So let's take a minute and talk about what has been going on. Over the last week, with 6+ planets retrograde, with the lunar eclipse, the full moon, we've had gates open, we've had just many repeating waves coming in of new energy. And one of the things that's really affecting us is that with all these different things that have been allowed to come in, meaning the alignment has been right, the energy has been right, the timing has been right, is that it is bringing in a lot of new light codes for us. Now, what that means is this is wonderful ascension energy. This is what we've been waiting on, and this is why we came in at this time in space, was to be a part of this and to get these upgrades. But a lot of us aren't recognizing that that's what it is. For me personally, I know there's been several times that I have gone to bed feeling one way and woken up feeling like I'm a completely different person, and like that old person doesn't exist anymore. Sounds a little crazy, right? But in reality, what's happening is, as these light codes come in, as these higher vibrational energies come in, it's flushing up anything within that 3D matrix, within our field, within our belief systems, that doesn't fit, that doesn't work within that vibration. So what would those kind of things be? Those would be those emotions of fear, of judgment, of worthlessness, worthlessness, feeling like we are not enough. There are so many. Anything that is less than that positive vibration of unconditional love that we came here to exist in. And we've been full of these 3D emotions because that's what we were raised in. Those are the core belief systems that we were raised in. And all of that is now getting pushed to the surface. And you can see that in society. And then the question becomes, what do you want to do with it? Do you feel like you're the same person that you were a couple weeks ago? Do you feel like you believe the same things that you did a month ago? So many people are waking up and going, I don't like my job anymore. I don't like how this feels. This doesn't resonate with me anymore. This doesn't serve me anymore. And deciding it's time to do something about it. So many people are looking around and going, I'm not sure I like this partner anymore. Or I'm not sure I like where I live anymore. All these things that we interact with on a daily basis in so many different ways, on so many different levels. We are really reassessing what fits from the 3D matrix and what fits with what's coming in the 5D. And as we all know, those two energies cannot exist in the same time and space. We're here or we're here. Or our belief systems are here or here. There's not a sharing within that. And that's a very positive thing. Again, we wanted to come in and leave these old things behind. We did not want to take judgment into the 5D energy. We did not want to take fear into the 5D energy. But I hear so many people saying, I can't wait until all this is done, and I can go back to what I know. I can go back to what's comfortable. Well, that time and space doesn't exist anymore. And that really is a good thing. Even those of us that are very energy sensitive, we're having to learn new tools because the old tools aren't working anymore. The old tools worked really well for the 3D matrix, but they're not necessarily working now. And I know of some people who have come up with some really interesting tools, but they're very individual. We always talk about meditation. We always talk about being out in nature and grounding, and yes, those things still work wonderfully. But you can add so many things now to your regimen and to your own personal daily experience that helps you, regardless of whether they work for anyone else. That's what this is about. This is stepping into us, stepping into our consciousness, stepping out from under the old robe, if you will, of what the 3D energies were. So have you started reevaluating in your life yet? A lot of people are feeling really bound right now. They're feeling stuck because they don't know how to work with this energy. And again, they're waiting for when the old energy comes back. They're waiting for these waves to just pass through. And then they're thinking it's going to go back to what it was before. And you can go back to the old belief system and the old job and the old way of being. And we just hit a rough patch. Sorry, friends, that's not the way this is going to work. Everything that we're in now is only going to increase. If you have talked to an astrologer or heard any of the astrology from now until 2024, we are going to spend the next 3.5 years bringing about this whole ascension process. It's amazing the way things line up and what's going to be shifting, and it's all very, very positive. But don't be surprised if you have to learn new tools, if there are things in your life that are shifting. I was talking with a client the other day. He says, I'm done with that old life. It's time for a new job. It's time for a new place to live. It's time for a new partner. They had just decided that everything that was in their life before didn't match who they were and what they wanted and where they were headed. And I congratulated them for that. That's great. Not that you can do all of that at one time. You have to take it step by step. We are still in the physical 3D world here for the moment as we're bringing those energies up. So sometimes it can take a little bit of time to work our way through it. But maybe it's just one particular part of you. Maybe it is one particular belief system. Again, maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a hairstyle. Maybe, goodness, it can be anything. But be okay with whatever needs to be changed for you. Don't think that anything is wrong. This is stepping into you, who you are. Be playful. Be joyous. Have fun with these things. And right now is a time where it's super easy to get stuck. Because what do we in our human selves do the minute that things start to change? We go into fear. And then we literally go into a protection mode. And we can go into a trauma mode if there's trauma in our history. So that basically we're just kind of sitting there waiting for the storm to pass. And this storm isn't going to pass. We're going to move. The storm is going to keep going in the 3D because the 3D isn't going to match with the 5D. So we have to get up and move. And that's an exciting thing. It's a time for reestablishing yourself. It's a time for movement. But if you do find yourself getting stuck, one of the biggest things that you can do is to move your physical. Get the energy moving. Because if your mind is responding in that fear and trauma mode and self-protection mode, then so is your mental body and so is your field. One of the easiest, quickest, and best ways is to get moving physically. That will get the energy moving. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go out and run a 5K. And if you want to, that's great. Just condition a little bit first, please. But maybe it's just a walk around the park, or maybe it's a walk in the woods, or a jog on the beach. Something that physically gets you moving will get the energy moving and will get the whole process back underway. So if you're feeling stuck, don't be afraid to step into doing something a little different. Again, physical movement is great for that. And start really evaluating for yourself. That's what this time is about. We wanted to move forward. We want to grow. We want to shift these things. We didn't want to stay stuck in the 3D thought processes. If we wanted to, we wouldn't have come in at this time and space. So, good luck, get moving, and we'll talk again soon.